was dusk in Illinois. A small boy, after an afternoon of cutting dung, he hung on a rail fence that sapped thin, so weary to crying. Dark was growing tall. Began to hear the pond frogs calling on his ear, calling on his ear, calling on his ear with what seemed like joy. Soon the sound was pleasant for a boy, listening in the smoky dusk and nightfall of Illinois. From the fields, two small boys came, bearing cornstalk violins. Rubbed the cornstalk bowls with resins. The three just sat there scraping of the joy, of the joy, the scraping of the joy.
So you're building a studio, you built a studio, or you're building a studio in Elizabeth.
Right.
And you're going to record your new record there?
That's the plan.
Wow. Does it have a name?
I'm thinking of calling it the Conservatory. Because, not for any more obvious reasons, but there's so many birds living in the rafters. That's all you hear, is just like this scuttling and this cacophony of birds. Yeah. So if you ask me what the next record's gonna sound like, I would say
Cacophony.
birds, frogs, crickets, and chickens, and roosters, and cows. That's what it's gonna sound like. Finally, I have an easy answer to that question.
My skin is white as parchment, drier than a downtown office building where the air is tight. There's time spent resting on the bones, waiting for the telephones to ring.
I can joke with my friends when I first came out here that, you know, oh, what happened to Bird? Like, where'd he go? And they're gonna find me like in 15 years, like at my computer, like with the prairie has like come into the barn and the thistles are wrapped around my legs, and I'm just sitting there like, you know, yeah.
I need to know, Kevin, how you met Andrew the very, very first time.
I was at a concert and I had played in it, and then I saw Andrew play, and it was very funny, the band he was in, because it was like he was playing violin, and as good as he is, like he hadn't really been playing jazz much. So I mean, and then there was like an electric bass player and I think 2 keyboard players, like so it sounded like Merv and the Magic Tones pretty much.
How about you, Nora? When did you first meet Andrew?
I think that first time that Andrew and I sang together, we were like, ooh, you sound good. That sounds real good. Let's keep doing that. And then we started working together.
What do you mean I'm not invited? What do you mean don't get excited? Thanks for the warning, we'll see you in the morning. Who remembers all they're doing?
I was playing like 10 hours a day, of course, and I've been playing since I was 4 years old, and I was 22, and suddenly I had to imagine waking up the next morning and not being able to play
I was talking to Nora once,
Uh-huh.
Nora O'Connor. She said that one time you were talking about your whistling. She was saying that if your arms fell off, you were banking on the whistle so you could keep going, keep playing music.
Well, I kind of feel like the violin is not key anymore. It's like, if I couldn't play the violin tomorrow, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I can always write and still have ideas. I can always make a musical noise.
Being alone, it can be quite romantic. Life's a Cousteau underneath the Atlantic. A fantastic voyage, 2 parts unknown. Going to depths where the sun's never shone. And I fascinate myself when I'm alone. But hang on to the wall while I'm airbrushing fantasy out on a life that's really kinda dull. I'm in a love. I'm in a I'm all for moderation, but sometimes it seems moderation itself can be a kind of extreme. So I joined the congregation, I joined the softball team, and I went in for my confirmation where incense looks like steam. And I start conjugating proverbs, but once they were announced, this whole damn rhyme scheme's really starting to get me down.
I was trying to have this like creative utopia, you know, and I'm realizing that maybe that there isn't such a thing, but that this is what this place is all about. Having a place where I live, and I get up and I make breakfast and have some coffee, and by the end of breakfast and reading the paper, I've got an idea in my head. I go over and I start working, and I get that idea down and I develop it, and 4 or 5 hours goes by, and maybe I have something, maybe I don't. I mean, I can get somewhat manic at times and can get obsessive, and I'm trying to get away from that as much as I can and just make it part of everyday life.
I can see it all from here. I can see